Well, howdy tubers, back at it again. Working on, which I'm working on, or jumping ahead on doing this, but I'm finding out it's a lot easier to do it now than when the cockpit enclosure's on, or even the tank cover, which wouldn't be on now anyways. But you can sure get in and work with the stick a lot easier with not having to get inside it and do it. So, show you what I'm doing. Okay, on the plans here, it says there we go, focus. From the stick to the bell crank, that the push rod will measure 39 3/4 inches. And that's from the center of the bolt hole to the other center of the bolt hole, or center of your rod end to center of the rod end where the bolt goes in. So what I did was put a piece of tape on the floor, 39 3/4, going over to another tape on the floor, and then that'll be my measurement. We'll show you how that goes, but right now I'm going to cut the end of the tubing, or I'm going to square the end of the tubing with my lathe. Since I got one, I might as well use it. So all I'm doing is just squaring off the end of this tubing so it'll be nice and square for the rod end bushing to go in there. Of course, if you guys probably maybe better at cutting the tubing off square with a hacksaw or something than what I would be. So anyway, so that's squared off, and then I take this here and deburr the inside just a little bit, and take a file and deburr the outside, and there we go. Nice and straight for the rod end bushing and the rod end to go in. So, got that part. So now, as per the manual, it shows, well, it says, it doesn't show, but it says 4 rivets. Of course, they only showed 3 because, of course, there's one on the other side that you can't see. But you're showing don't go down more than 3/4 of an inch so that you don't get out the end of that. So you don't miss the end of the rod end bushing. But what I do is I take that and mark the end of that. There we go. Like that, so I know where the end of the bushing will be. Oops. Sorry. I thought I shut it off. Well, left it in the dark for a while. Well, anyway, I got the other holes drilled. There we go. And so now I'll take the cleco out and pull the rod end bushing out of there so I can deburr it, and then we'll go back together. Okay, now it's back together. Just shoot some rivets in it. Okay, there we go. Rivets in there. Now then, to do the other end. Okay, so what I do... Yeah, I guess that's right. Okay, so what I do is get that heim joint lined up with the center of the hole with your line. You don't have to be that precise because you still got, still can adjust the heim joints. And then on this end, get that aligned, and then where the shoulder, this shoulder is, mark it on their tube. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can do that and hold this and watch and all that stuff. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so got a line there. And so chop that off, square up that end, and rivet that in, and then I'll show you. Okay, there we go. And of course, pulled it apart with my clocking line on there and deburred it, and then put it back together, riveted, and there we go. And then now the end that goes to the stick has its own special heim joint, which is, I don't know if you can tell that, but it's flatter there than this end. The ball sticks out further. I think you can see that. The ball sticks out further. And that's because when you get it in there on the stick, which this is so nice that you can just reach right through there and do that instead of having to get in the cockpit and bend around there and do it without the cockpit skin there in a way. So you get this in there and hang on, and then hook it at, well, okay, we'll hook it at the bell crank end and on the stick. And then when your stick is in neutral, the stick's in neutral. Okay. This here bell crank should be 90 degrees to the rib. That's the neutral position of the bell crank with the stick in neutral, which is not in neutral back and forth, but it can do that. That's pretty close. So anyway, and that's where the bell crank should be when the stick's in neutral. Okay, so there's something else I wanted to say. I got another guy from California coming to meet me here. He said in February. I guess he grew up or is from Wisconsin. Either Wisconsin or Michigan. I think he said Wisconsin. And he's going to go back to there, but on his way there, he's going to stop here sometime in February. So get to meet another California subscriber. And I know I've got him, I think his name, I'd have to look up his name. I think it was Paul. And he was working on a Hummingbird, which, of course, that's what California Mike's got, is a Hummingbird. But I know I talked to him this Paul at Oshkosh last year, and he talked with Terry too, of course, and Matt, and but now he's just very interested in getting or building a scratch built ultra cruiser. So I offered him, like I've offered everybody, if they want to borrow my bulkhead forms, he can. And he said, well, he'd pay for the shipping. I said, well, and then he told me that he was going to come this way. I said, well, you don't have to pay for shipping, just except for the shipping back, but he can at least get my bulkhead forms while he's here. Now my buddy Matt's got my forms for the rudder and fin and stabilizer and elevator and all that, but he hasn't used those yet. But of course, he's got the bulkhead forms already going. So, anyways, I know this is getting to be a long one, and I'm hearing, of course, I've heard this all the time I've been doing it. You want longer videos, but anyways, I hope it wasn't too boring and was at least a little bit educational. There you go, and God bless.